Hi, I'm Dr. Cynthia Leah Clark. I'm going to take a departure today from my normal rants and raves to talk about serial killers. Zodiac opened this weekend, and it's about the killer Zodiac, who killed in the 60s quite a few people. The exact amount is disputable, but in any case, he was a serial killer in the California region, southern and northern. And this weekend, the movie about his life opened. Interesting movie. And so I thought I would talk about serial killers. As a forensic psychologist, my job is to go to crime scenes and evaluate or profile criminals, and also, where serial killers are concerned, determine patterns and who the serial killer might be and what's going on. So, a little very basic serial killer 101. Serial killers tend to be organized or disorganized. Now, in today's society, they can be both because they're not dumb. They also tend to be highly intelligent. Not necessarily genius, although some are borderline genius. They tend to be very smart, street smart. Some are well educated. Ted Bundy was an example of this. He was college educated and planning to go to law school, but many are not, and dropped out of high school, in fact. However, they're very street smart and have a natural instinct for plotting and coming up with scenarios and information that they can put together into this pattern that they create and pull off in order to lead the police on a spree before, ideally, they're caught. Now, in not all cases are they caught. As we know, Jack the Ripper was never caught. Zodiac, it's disputed as to whether or not he was caught. Sometimes they want to be caught. Then they get sloppy on purpose. Or once in a while they turn themselves in. But I digress. Again, there tend to be two basic types of serial killers, the disorganized and the organized. Serial killers tend to be male. There are exceptions to the rule. Arlene Wuornos is probably the best known female serial killer we know down in Florida. She was killing her Johns. She's probably one of the best known females that we are aware of. They tend to be white, but that's not always true. Again, that's rapidly changing as the country and the world is evolving. They can be loners, or they can also be very open to a crowd. The loner obviously is going to be by himself and not want to be around people. And if it's discovered that he's the serial killer, you're going to say, oh, I knew that. He was just odd. On the other hand, if he's a Ted Bundy-like person, he's going to be charismatic. You're going to be shocked. Oh, I never would have known kind of reaction you're going to get from that. So you can have both ends of the spectrum when it comes to what type of person could be a serial killer. It could be your neighbor. It could be your Uncle Joe, sadly. So you necessarily know who's out there at any given moment who's going to become the next serial killer. We're trying to learn what makes a serial killer a serial killer. At this point in time, we have a lot of theories, but no definitive proof. Again, we have certain pieces of information that we can lop together and know that certain things seem to be true. They tend to have been abused as children. Not always, but they tend to have been abused as children. They tended to have done poorly in school. That's not always true either. They tend to show an interest in pornography and sadism. That probably speaks for itself there. And they tend to have bedwetted until at least age 12. Those are givens that we find in most serial killers occurred. In all of them? No. But in a good number, enough of them that we can make that general profile. So when you're starting off doing a profile on a serial killer, you start off with those. From there, you have to now know your stuff and be creative. You look at your crime scene, you look at all kinds of things connected with the crime scene, and try to figure out why are these people being killed? What connects them to each other and to the serial killer? So, if you're interested, I can continue and talk a little bit more. We can continue with Serial Killing 101 at another time. Just drop me a note and I'd be happy to continue. Otherwise, you can look for my lectures from time to time in different parts of the country when I speak about deviant behavior and psychopathology. And again, I thank you for listening to me. I'm Dr. Cynthia Leah Clark, forensic psychologist. Thank you.